Yeah. And how did it get the price compared to the other two? It was comparable. I mean, so it just looked non-reasonable. We would have been looking
We've got the street blocked off, so let's try and gather up in the street a little bit. Alright, let's see if you can hear me. Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Looks like it. Okay. Quick reminder, we were here 3 weeks ago, and I believe the last speaker said that next time we came to this courthouse, it would be to free Rümeysa. They were mostly right. We're here to free Rümeysa, but we were also here 2 weeks ago and last week. And because while we were fighting for Rümeysa's freedom, they kidnapped our brother Mohsen, and we freed him. We won that fight, and we'll win this fight. My name is Ivan from the Party for Socialism and Liberation, and
I'm Jana with Free Her Vermont.
And today, Rümeysa has her trial, which will be attending virtually from Louisiana. We've got a dynamite list of speakers to try to remind ourselves why we're here and why we're not going to stop fighting before Rümeysa is freed, and we're certainly not going to stop fighting after she's freed. Here, take it away.
We are here for Rümeysa and for every voice that has been silenced, detained, and criminalized for speaking truth to power. Her case highlights the true nature of the systems of incarceration and detention, and has helped unveil that they are designed to suppress, to control, to lock away those who dare to fight back. While the Trump administration pushes a $45 billion expansion of migrant detention in prisons and other carceral infrastructure across the country, we say no more. These aren't just buildings, they're tools of oppression, swallowing people into cages while corporations rake in billions, enabling Trump and his cronies to carry out their sinister plans. While states attempt to redefine laws to be able to label us as terrorists for demanding Palestinian liberation, we say we will not be silent. We have seen how easily narratives are manipulated to justify repression, and protests have been twisted into excuses for arrests. May this now be clear. The fight for Palestinian liberation, the fight against ICE, the fight against prisons, they are all connected. We must continue to speak out and fight back. Rümeysa's struggle is our struggle, and we will never stop demanding liberation. And as we free Rümeysa, let us never forget about those left behind in the belly of the beast. Free Rümeysa now! Free Rümeysa now! Free Rümeysa now! Free Rümeysa now! Free Rümeysa now!
Free Rümeysa now!
Woo! So let's hear from our powerful lineup of speakers and continue to build connections between struggles. First up, our very own Wafik Feor with the Vermont Coalition for Palestinian Liberation and Vermonters for Justice in Palestine.
Assalamu alaikum. We call you to come and gather for Rümeysa, and you showed up. on this weather you showed us. We cannot stop appreciating you, but you are on the right side of history. And why we are here? We are here to celebrate Rümeysa's release and freedom. We're not going to leave until Rümeysa is with us and out. What crime Rümeysa did? What a crime? She co-wrote of a page to her newspaper. Like me, we come as students over here. I don't remember that the immigration gave us a booklet to give us a freedom of what to say and what not to say. But they are creating this booklet on all colleges. At least 60 colleges are under investigation, and they are not giving them the money unless they change the definition of anti-Semitism. The changes of that definition, it doesn't hurt the Muslim, Arab, and Palestinian students. It's hurting our Jewish community inside the colleges. And that's why the number of the students who get expelled or hurt in Columbia University are our Jewish siblings. And for that, we have to remember that. Second thing, as an Arab, Palestinian, and Muslim, I will say our women don't belong to jail. Women don't belong to prisons. And for that, we're going to stand with the free hair here in Vermont to close all women prisons. And to reject building a new one of over 200 beds for our women here in Vermont. Our connection and collective liberation is bringing us victory after victory now. We're going to celebrate another victories in apartheid-free community, because at one point we're going to make Vermont apartheid-free community and the first state. And after Vermont, the rest of the United States and the rest of the world. I'm going to leave you with one thing. Please download the app to boycott Israel. Don't do business with Israel. Don't buy Israeli product. Because when you do that, you are supporting and benefiting the occupation, the genocide, the apartheid, the ethnic cleansing. For that, we're going to stay together, and we're going to free Rümeysa, we're going to free Mahmoud, and we're going to stay together as a collective liberation. We're going to free every migrant in jail. We appreciate you and solidarity.
Up with liberation!
Up with liberation!
Down with occupation!
Down with occupation!
Up with liberation!
Up with liberation!
Down with deportation!
Down with deportation!
We're going to be joined soon by the Students for Justice in Palestine contingent marching down from UVM. Except they're already here! Even better! But first, I'd like to introduce our next speaker, Will Lambach from Migrant Justice.
Hello, good morning. My name is Will Lambach. I'm with Migrant Justice, an organization for human rights, founded and led by immigrant farm workers here in the state of Vermont. So chant with me, from Mexico to Palestine, occupation is a crime. From Mexico to Palestine,
Occupation is a crime!
from Mexico to Palestine,
Occupation is a crime!
from Mexico to Palestine,
Occupation is a crime!
from Palestine to Mexico, border walls have got to go. Palestine to Mexico,
Border walls have got to go!
from Palestine to Mexico.
Border walls have got to go!
Free Rümeysa, free all political prisoners, free Palestine. It's great to see so many people from the labor movement here. SEIU is here, AFT is here. As you know, Rümeysa is a union member. And workers, whether they're in the Palestine Solidarity Movement as grad students or whether they're farm workers here in Vermont, are being targeted by ICE for criminalization, detention, and deportation. Last week, 7 days ago this Thursday, thousands of us were marching in the streets for May Day, International Workers' Day. And we were chanting in Spanish, a chant that means that the working class has no borders. So chant it with me in Spanish. It goes, La clase obrera no tiene frontera. La clase obrera no tiene frontera. La clase obrera no tiene frontera. La clase obrera
No tiene frontera.
So as you know, in the past several weeks, members of Vermont's farm worker community have been detained, and now, just this week, 3 of those who were detained in recent weeks have been deported to Mexico. We denounce these deportations as unconstitutional, as unlawful. These people were deported without due process, without a hearing, without credible fear interviews, against the law and against their rights. So we mourn those who have been ripped away from their community, ripped away from their families here in Vermont. We're fighting for all those who are still behind bars. We freed Mohsen, and we're going to free the rest of those who are still being locked up. We know these struggles are linked for many reasons, but recently, when Mohsen was released, he recounted a story of sharing a cell with one of the farm workers from Franklin County who was detained. And though they couldn't communicate across the language barrier, they knew that they shared a common struggle, and they were with each other in solidarity from behind bars. And so we're with each other in solidarity out here. So we're with those who are locked up. We're with those in Palestine who are being starved, who are being bombed, who are being massacred. And we're here to say together, free Rümeysa, free the farm workers, and free Palestine. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. When immigrant rights are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When immigrant rights are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
Thank you. So our next speaker is Izzy Miller with the Party for Socialism and Liberation.
Thank you. Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine.
Oh, thanks everyone for being out here today. I don't believe anyone out here is in any confusion about why we're out here in the rain today. You are not, you cannot be here only to free a woman who spoke the plain truth and was violently kidnapped and jailed for over a month now for saying the word genocide. We must be here to free them all. We must be here to free our neighbors. And we must be willing, ready, and desperate to free ourselves. Palin is not a struggle for a way anymore. It never has been. Martin Luther King Jr., a socialist, need I remind you, said that when we drop bombs abroad, we drop bombs at home. And we are dropping bombs at home. We're dropping them on our tuition, with our tax dollars, with our IDF-trained police, all to explode here on our unhoused populations, on our students, on our farm workers. We don't have money for public transportation. Most of us here have student debt. And I'm sure many of us don't have proper access to health care. We have the second highest rate of homelessness in the US here in Vermont. But we have money to be spending $30 million to Israel and their genocide from Vermont tax dollars alone. Yay! And be funneling millions more into state and private prisons. More still, to hire DHS workers to kidnap our people. Yay! That's why we're here. Because we are Rümeysa Öztürk. Because we are all Mahmoud Khalil and Luis and Arias and Danny. We are embarking on a movement of enormous stamina. But let's be clear, we are not starting from scratch. The struggle has a memory. And when we win justice for Rümeysa in this courthouse today, and when we bring her home tomorrow, and when we demand the rest of our family be uncaged, and when we build our fight to stop them from kidnapping the next person, and when we decide we're done with a system that has done this 1,000,000 times and start shutting it down, we are continuing the work of the Black Panther Party, the work of the Young Lords, the work of the martyred students at the Kent State Massacre, and the demonized students and staff of UVM demanding an end to apartheid South Africa, and of the entire third world fighting to breathe with the U.S. empire's foot on its neck. And we will continue their work, and we won't have to start over. Because we showed up today to fight for Rümeysa's freedom. We will win today. And if you would like to win tomorrow, we need to get organized. Join any of the groups who are here today putting this together. Together, we will win. Thank you.
The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. Okay, next up, we are honored to have Rümeysa's local union here, SEIU, Local 509, Sam Alterman and Grace Evans.
Good morning, Burlington. My name is Grace Evans.
My name is Sam Alterman, and we are both graduate workers at Tufts University and stewards of the Tufts University Graduate Workers Union, SEIU 509. We want to share our really sincere gratitude for all of our labor movement siblings and fellow workers who have joined us in demanding our union sibling Rümeysa Öztürk's release. And especially thank you to everyone for being here today in such lovely Vermont weather.
Rümeysa has now been unjustly incarcerated for more than 6 weeks. We are hopeful that today's hearing will finally return Rümeysa to where she belongs, with a community that loves her and misses her dearly. We would like to introduce you to the Rümeysa that we know, a beloved friend and human being who loves picture books, baking, and cartoons.
Rümeysa has a seemingly unending reserve of empathy, not only for her friends and colleagues, but also those whom she has never met, but whose voices she nonetheless seeks to uplift. Last fall, Rümeysa helped coordinate a gathering on campus to hold space for grieving the millions of children affected by war and conflict across the world. Rümeysa created an opportunity for our community to come together and mourn the incomprehensible loss of life and childhood in places like Gaza, Ukraine, Sudan, and the Congo through poetry, art, and collective journaling.
And even now, Representative Ayanna Pressley shared with us that when she and other members of Congress met with Rümeysa in detention, Rümeysa spent the majority of the meeting advocating for other women she had met while detained. women who are also suffering under inhumane conditions. In all her work, Rümeysa's gentle insistence on genuine shared feeling and connection structures her steadfast pursuit of justice in the face of violent occupation, exploitation, conflict, and upheaval.
Our union is following Rümeysa's lead, and our collective fight for justice does not end today, regardless of the court's ruling. Thousands of workers throughout New England and around the country have been abducted by ICE in recent weeks. Not all of their names, faces, and stories have received the coverage Rümeysa has, but they are all equally deserving of justice. Justice for workers means fighting back against the criminalization of immigrants, and we will not rest until every one of our neighbors is home safe.
Come for one, face us all. Free Rümeysa, free them all. Come for one,
Face us all.
free Rümeysa.
Free them all.
Come for one,
Face us all.
free Rümeysa.
Free them all.
Thank you.
Who's got the power?
We got the power.
What kind of power?
People power.
Who's got the power?
We got the power.
What kind of power?
People power.
That's right. And Rümeysa's lawyers and legal team will be out to give us an update on the case in another 30 minutes to an hour to 2 hours. So people stay as long as you can. For now, I want to keep you energized. So I've got someone to sing for us. That's always helpful. Grace, Odell, come join me.
Hey, y'all! I love seeing so many of you out here in the rain. You are really making your love visible. And we are going to build the world that we need, and you're all a part of it right now. I want to share what I've heard from Lafiq and what I believe in my heart to be true, which is that today we're going to free Rümeysa. Rümeysa's going to free us. And Rümeysa's gonna get out in Louisiana, and she's gonna be hopefully flown back here to Vermont. When that day happens, we're gonna need to mobilize and be at the airport to greet her so that we can so that her case can be heard here. And her lawyers are feeling like really, really hopeful. And like here in Vermont, we're setting an example of what solidarity looks like and what showing up looks like. And we're gonna keep winning. We're gonna keep doing it. And we're gonna do it for the farm workers who are being held in ICE captivity also. Because we all of us deserve protections. None of us can be whisked away by a secret police force. We're all gonna keep showing up until we're all free, yes? Yeah! Okay. So we're gonna sing a song about the kind of hope we need. And we're gonna sing a song about joy in resistance. How many of you have sung this at another one of these actions? So the words are, what the world needs now is joy in resistance. We will fight the good fight with or without your assistance. So move out of the way if you can't support the mission. Because what the world needs now is joy in resistance, okay? And then we'll put in other words like love or hope or whatever you think that the movement for a new world needs, okay? Do you guys want to come up and sing? My singing sisters, get up here. Anybody else who wants to lead this, just come up here. This is not a solo performance. We've been singing and hooting and hollering, and this morning my 3-year-old was hazing me slightly, so my voice is a little tired. So everybody needs to sing together, okay? What the world needs now is joy in resistance. We will fight the good fight with or without your assistance. So move out of the way if you can't support the mission. 'Cause what the world needs now is joy in resistance. Love. Okay, love. What the world needs now is love in resistance. We will fight. You you can warm up. Fight with or without your assistance. So move out of the way if you can't support the mission. Cause what the world needs now, love is love in resistance. Hope, okay? What the world needs now is hope in resistance. We will fight the good fight with or without your assistance. So move out of the way if you can't support the mission. What the world needs now is hope in resistance. Strength. What the world needs now is strength in resistance. We will fight the good fight with or without your assistance. So move out of the way if you can't support the mission. What the world needs now is strength and resistance. Woo-hoo! Anything else? One more choice? Got one! Liberation! What the world needs now, liberation and resistance. We will fight the good fight with or without your assistance. So move out of the way if you can't support the mission. What the world needs now is liberation and resistance. Y'all sound great. I want to share that yesterday was the 80th celebration of the end of World War II, when we were feeling like we were having this big win for democracy and people over fascism and tyranny. I've been thinking a lot about that as a person. My children's ancestors died in the Holocaust. I'm an ordained rabbi. And I've been thinking so much about how I want to make those ancestors proud and my descendants proud, and how clear it is that from Palestine to Mexico, these border walls have absolutely got to go. Let's chant it out. From Palestine to Mexico. From Palestine to Mexico. These border walls have got to go. These border walls have got to go. From Palestine to Mexico. From Palestine to Mexico. These border walls have got to go. These border walls have got to go. And we will make it so. And we will make it so. Nicely done.
That's right. An injury to one is an injury to all. And our speakers today have demonstrated that well. The people out here today are not just Palestinian. The people out here today are fighting for their own liberation because we understand that it's tied with the Palestinian liberation. It's through a number of kinds of power that we're going to overthrow the system and we're going to take Rümeysa back home. It's through labor power, it's through worker power, it's through people power. Our next speaker from UVM Staff United, Ellen Kay. Can you join me? Ellen! Hear it for Ellen! Woo! You may have seen her before. But hold on. Give it up for Ellen.
Good morning, everyone. That was good. Let's do that again. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Great. My name is Ellen Kay. I work at Howe Library at UVM full-time, and I'm also proud to serve as co-president of UVM Staff United, the union that represents 1,500 staff at the University of Vermont. So we're here today in solidarity with Rümeysa Öztürk and with all of the students, workers, immigrants who continue to speak out against attacks by the federal government on our right to speech, to protest, and to just exist in this country. Now, in the labor movement, We know a thing or two about building power together. Our union, which is only 4 years old, understands that it is our task to train the boss. From our beginnings, we knew that everything we do together serves to either teach the boss what workers will accept or what workers won't accept. When they mistakenly overpaid hundreds of our workers in 2022 in our first contract, and then 5 weeks later told those underpaid workers that they would take back that money, we stood firm until they backed down. We knew how important it was to show them right away who we were and how we would use our power to stand in solidarity with each other. Now I tell you this story because it is no different now with the actions of the federal government. They are testing us to see if we will stand up for each other in the face of actions that threaten to pick us off one at a time. So what we do right now, in every moment, is critical. Will we capitulate? No! Will we look the other way while they take people one at a time? No! Migrant workers, students, international faculty, staff? No! Or will we stand together and keep showing up like what we're doing today? To tell them in no uncertain terms, when you come for one of us, you will face us all? Unions know, or should know, what the hard work of building collective power looks like. We know it takes time, determination, steadfastness, and discipline. And we know that collective power is all we have. We don't have the purse strings, we don't have the power of elected officials, but we have the people. I'm going to ask you a question right now. Are you ready to build that power wherever you are together? Are you ready to teach the boss what our collective power can do? Let's keep marching, keep building strong relationships. Take a moment today, not right now, to talk to people who are near you, who you don't know. Introduce yourself. Find out who they are. Tell them who you are and why you're here. That's how we're going to do this together. So keep marching. Keep building strong relationships where you work, where you live. Keep speaking out without fear, and we will win. Solidarity to Rümeysa. Solidarity to our migrant farm workers in Vermont. Solidarity to the Middlebury students and the Columbia students who were just arrested. To Mohsen, Mahmoud, and to the people of Palestine, may we all be free.
Thank you so much, Ellen, reminding us of the people power of workers. Let's not forget so much of the freedoms we have today is from the blood of workers. Free Rümeysa now! Free Rümeysa now! Free Rümeysa now! Free Rümeysa now!
Free Rümeysa now!
Next up, we have Sophie with Jewish Voices for Peace.
Hi, y'all. I am so deeply gratified to see all of you here. I am gratified to the people who are here after being here week after week after week in varying weather conditions to stand for Mohsen and Rümeysa and to free them all. I am grateful to those of you who are here for the first time. I'm grateful for those of you who invited someone to the one after the first one you came to. This is how we build people power, right? This is sumud. This is the word that we have been taught by our Palestinian siblings. This is steadfastness, right? We're here in the rain. We are undeterred. We are undeterred by weather. We are undeterred by the threat of fascism. I have a question for you all. Please raise your hand, if you're not holding a sign, if you have heard of Project Esther. Raise your hand if you have read all 30 disgusting pages of Project Esther. All right, a couple of you. This is your homework when you get home, or if you're out here standing in the rain and you need something to take your mind off your cold toes. Project Esther is the playbook for the far-right nationalist agenda that currently has control of the White House. It is written by the same people who brought us Project 2025.
Shame!
They call themselves the Heritage Foundation. It is a heritage of white nationalism. It is a heritage of hate. It is a heritage of corrupt power. They are those who are keeping Rümeysa detained and are trying to keep us scared and silent. They say in Project Esther that it is for Jewish safety, but we know this is a lie. It is a lie and it is a distraction. Because instead of focusing on how our tax dollars are going towards a mass starvation campaign in Gaza, we have to focus on making sure our neighbors aren't disappeared or deported for exercising their free speech rights. Instead of talking about the dangerous anti-Semitism coming from the far right and people like Elon Musk, we have to prove that it's not anti-Semitic to want freedom for all from the river to the sea. Instead of building the world we want to live in, the authors of Project Esther want to keep us on the defensive while they strip away our rights and humanity and pit us against each other. The rabbi-led human rights organization Trua wrote in their assessment, Project Esther is a blueprint for targeting any organization with a systemic approach to social justice or civil rights work. While Project Esther and corresponding policies begin by targeting pro-Palestine activism, they establish dangerous precedents for using civil rights law and government surveillance to suppress political speech. Limiting these freedoms is one more step toward authoritarianism. But we will not let them take one more step toward authoritarianism. By showing up today for Rümeysa, for our immigrant neighbors, for the workers of this country, this is how we hold the line and prevent those future steps. But we have to keep showing up diligently, incessantly, to refuse the continued erosion of our rights. We have to work to regain what we've already lost while constantly keeping our eye on the world we actually want to live in. One where our tax dollars go to education and healthcare and not to mass starvation abroad and deportation campaigns at home. We are all here today because we deeply care about the fundamental human rights of all people. Rights to safety, to freedom, to speak truth to power, to dignified labor, and to the agency to defend those rights for ourselves and for our communities. The architects of Project Esther want to divide us. To that we say, the people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. Free people
United will never be defeated.
Free Rümeysa!
Free Rümeysa!
Free them all!
Free them all!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sophie. Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
Okay, our next speaker is Nikhil Goyal with the UVM Sociology Department.
Good morning. My name is Nikhil Goyal. I'm a sociologist at the University of Vermont and former senior policy advisor for Senator Bernie Sanders. I am so proud to be here with all of you in the rain. Donald Trump is messing with the wrong state. We are Vermonters, united in solidarity with Rümeysa Öztürk. Vermonters, don't let dictators win. Vermonters, don't let presidents trample on the U.S. Constitution. Vermonters, don't sit by while their neighbors are being rounded up, kidnapped on the street by masked men, and thrown into torture chambers. Vermonters support free speech and due process and the Bill of Rights and the U.S. Constitution. Donald Trump doesn't have any idea what he has unleashed. What is happening to Rümeysa and Mohsen and Mahmoud is deeply un-American. Let us remember the founding history of our country. The framers of the Constitution were deeply influenced by a book of essays called Cato's Letters. And I want to read a passage to you. In those wretched countries where a man cannot call his tongue his own, he can scarce call anything else his own. Whoever would overthrow the liberty of the nation must begin by subduing the freedom of speech, a thing terrible to public traitors. Freedom of speech is the great bulwark of liberty. They prosper and die together. And it is the terror of traitors and oppressors and a barrier against them. By ripping up the United States Constitution, Donald Trump is attacking every American who has put their life in harm's way and made the ultimate sacrifice for our freedoms. Shame on him! Shame! What is very clear is that Trump wants to shut down any speech that contradicts his own. He wants to muzzle dissent. He wants to crush the free exchange of ideas. He wants to crack down on the academic freedoms of students and faculty. And he wants to make people afraid to lose their educations, their jobs, their entire livelihoods. And we cannot let him win. Whether you accept USAID's finding that Israel has deliberately blocked humanitarian aid, creating a famine in Gaza, whether you accept every major human rights group calling for an end to the bombings in Gaza, whether you accept Pope Francis's call for a ceasefire in Gaza and the release of all the hostages, you should stand with Rümeysa, Mohsen, and Mahmoud. Because this fight is about defending the right to free speech without threat of intimidation, violence, detention, and deportation for every human being in our country. This fight is about due process for every human being in our country. This fight is about freedom and justice for all. So either you stand for the U.S. Constitution or you stand with tyranny. I am a proud American who was born in this country, and I want to make a special plea to every natural-born U.S. citizen. If there is a time in your life to be brave, it is now. If there is a time in your life to speak out, it is now. If there is a time to put your body on the line, it is now. If there is a time to show up, it is now. We must speak for those who cannot speak for themselves. We must fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. We must protest for those who cannot protest for themselves. And we must use our privilege as natural-born citizens to protect our naturalized citizen neighbors, our dreamers, our neighbors with green cards and other legal status, and our neighbors without papers. It is on us to fight, because if we stay silent, the Trump administration will come for all of us too, and they have already begun. Donald Trump thought he could get away with this. He thought he could kidnap people in broad daylight and get away with this, but he didn't meet the people of Vermont. He wasn't familiar with our game, to quote Shaquille O'Neal. Vermonters are showing up. We are marching. We are speaking out. And we are fighting like hell. And we won't stop until Rümeysa and Mohsen and Mahmoud and every last of Trump's political prisoners are free at last. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum again. Thank you, Professor, but we have to remind everybody, if they are politicians, work for politicians, union, and others. We were on the state capitol yesterday, and the only ask we have as Vermont Coalition for Palestinian Liberation is any politician, any union, any group on this state has to sign on apartheid-free community, and now. That's right. We will never trust anybody will close their eyes on the apartheid that our people, the Palestinian people, have been living under it for 77 years. That's right. And now I will go ahead.
When immigrant rights are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When Palestine is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When any of us are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
That's right, I want to highlight what Nikhil said about free speech. Rümeysa did not get imprisoned and stolen from us for writing an article about Donald Trump. She got imprisoned for writing about Palestine. She got imprisoned for naming Israel's genocide. That's what they're afraid of. We're fighting for free speech. We're fighting for the free speech to fight for Rümeysa to speak in front of this courthouse right now. We're also fighting for the free speech to speak the truth. Right? It's not free speech for nothing. There's a reason why we're fighting for it. A lot of people who have been in the struggle for many years, for decades, have been asking, where have all these people been when Palestine was under attack? I don't really care, because you're here today, right? But what I care about most is where you'll be tomorrow. I want you to keep following us along, and for the next person, the next person. But let's pretend I cared a little bit about where people have been. A few months ago, we had probably the most historic uprising for Palestine since the Second Intifada, the encampments at universities. Anybody here participate in the encampments? Give it a woo. Right? Our students have been fighting tirelessly for Palestine because they found themselves on the right side of history. And what our administrations did in response is deplorable. They sided with Israel, they sided with the occupation, they sided with an oppressive system which hates free speech. We must support our students, and we must allow our students to fight for Palestine freely and openly. I have 3 students from UVM SJP and from Middlebury SJP to speak a little bit more to that. Where are you?
We love our students. Good morning, good morning. Hello, everyone. My name is Phoebe. I'm a Middlebury student in the SJP divestment campaign, but most importantly, the daughter of 2 war refugees from Vietnam. My parents, myself, and every Vietnamese person today I know would not be alive if it were not for the anti-war efforts led by college students at Middlebury and around the United States. Middlebury students have always been at the forefront of anti-fascist movements, from our anti-war movement for Vietnam, to our divestment from our apartheid South Africa, to the present ongoing divestment campaign from the genocide in Gaza. Because we spoke out against genocide, we have become one of 60 colleges and universities that the Trump administration wants to make an example of. Yay! We're on another list, the growing list of academic institutions whose international students have had their visas revoked. Yay!
Like Rümeysa, our international and underdocumented faculty and students came to this country because it claims to be a beacon of academic free speech and democracy. And they come to Middlebury because we supposedly pride ourselves on being global, ethical citizens. Are these commitments being upheld?
Hell fucking no!
Hell no! Like many of the other rights this country has promised, our free speech is being infringed upon. When we exercise our free speech, when we write op-eds like Rümeysa, when we speak up in our universities, we are targeted for political retribution. Our international and underdocumented students are being used as political tools for the Trump administration to scare us into complicity. But we will not be silent. We see what they are doing, and we will not look away. As students, we have a responsibility to our colleagues in Gaza who have shown unrelenting endurance, resilience, and steadfastness in the face of genocide. And we have a responsibility to our colleagues right here, where they are being abducted off the streets and detained for something as simple as an op-ed.
Shame! College administration corporations are voluntarily handing over their power to the Trump administration. Shame. The Trump administration chooses what happens on our campuses, who gets to say what professors can teach and what we can protest. They are systematically destroying the spaces of academic dissent that gave birth to the student movements against war in Vietnam, against apartheid in South Africa, and now against the genocide in Gaza. So what do? We create community support networks. That means supporting the academic work of our targeted colleagues and departments, supporting legal funds for our international and undocumented students, which Middlebury has still not established. Holding institutions accountable for creating transparent policies and networks that will defend and protect our students when the Trump administration chooses to come after them, not if, when. And showing up for our colleagues like Rümeysa when they are prosecuted. In the face of this fascist administration, we must defend our academic institutions. Otherwise, we collapse into what the Trump administration wants: quiet, obedient, and uneducated students. Thank you so much, and free Palestine!
How's this? I want to pay tribute to the students of Middlebury. They are keeping up the fight in the middle of Donald Trump's crosshairs. They are standing strong, and we're going to have to stand right behind them, and we're going to have to learn from them when Donald Trump comes knocking, because he's going to come for all of us. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. And we know that silence does not keep us safe. There is no way we can keep our heads down. And there's no way we can just stay out of trouble and hope that we will be spared. We know that complying in advance with fascism does not keep us safe. Lovely weather we're having, huh? We marched down as a contingent from UVM for the third time. We did it twice for Mohsen, and we did it today for Rümeysa, despite the weather, despite it being the last day of finals, because we do not rest. We will not stop. We will not rest. And justice waits for no one. We will be out here, rain, shine, snow, heat wave, until we are all free, until Palestine is free. And we have to steel ourselves. We have to brace ourselves. We have to condition ourselves for this period of struggle that we are in. And we have to accustom ourselves to sacrifice. If you think a little bit of rain is bad, just you wait. And that's part of why we're all out here today. That's part of being out here all today, is to affirm to ourselves that we are in this fight, come what may. We are in this fight no matter what it takes. We are in this fight, and we are willing to sacrifice for our freedom, for our siblings' freedom, for our farm workers' freedom, for the freedom of the people in Palestine. Last thing I want to talk about is that Rümeysa's case embodies the repression, is the culmination of what Zionists have been trying to do for decades in this country. And it is an embodiment of the silence and fear that they want to strike into all of us, but especially Muslim, Arab, Palestinian people, and women especially. And for that, we all have to be louder. We all have to stand up stronger. We have to stand up united, together, unafraid, break through the chilling effect that they are trying to create, and keep speaking out, keep rising up, keep fighting back. I remember when I first came into this struggle, learning about all the tactics that they employ to keep people afraid, keep people silent, college students especially. They put you on lists, they put you on websites, they get you fired, they get you doxxed, they keep you intimidated, all for the supposed crime of saying that the Palestinian people deserve life. And now it's gone from that to this: arrests, kidnappings, abductions, attempted deportation. But they're doing this because they're afraid and because we are winning. They are not doing this from a position of strength. They are doing this because they are afraid of the power that we hold and the power that we are building and the fact that we are going to win freedom within our lifetime, for us, for the Palestinian people, for the entire world. Freedom from this empire that is keeping the world in chains until the people of the world are free. So keep showing up. Today's just the beginning. Doesn't matter if it's raining. We are out here. We are showing that we are not afraid of a little bit of rain. We are not afraid of repression. We are not afraid of intimidation. We are not afraid of the state coming to kidnap us. We will be here no matter what, in the fight, in the streets, in the struggle, until Palestine is free. Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Thank you all. Solidarity forever!
Thank you. We want justice, we want it now, and if we don't get it, we're shutting it down, right? So what do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
If we don't get it,
Shut it down!
shut it down!
Shut it down!
That's right. You know, Joe from SJP, you should hear the way that in the UVM tours they valorize the students who fought to put an end to the Vietnam War. They talk about them like they're heroes. Same with ending the apartheid in South Africa. When they demonized them at the time, when they brought the police in at the time, that's what they did to the students during the encampments. That's what they continue to do when they fail to protect them against the most basic, simple, and barbaric attacks from the Trump administration, right? So we have no confusion about how we stand with the students. Part of the way in which we fight alongside them is we build durable, sustainable struggle. We build campaigns and we fight together, unified. One of the campaigns that has been really holding it down in the last 18 months has been the Apartheid Free Communities campaign. Have you guys heard of it? Well, I've got Jimmy Leese and Paul Fleckenstein to talk more about it. Take it away, Jimmy.
Thank you very much. So President Trump is attacking fundamental constitutional principles firmly upheld by the United States Supreme Court, that every resident of this country, whether citizen or alien, has the exact same right to speech, the press, assembly, to petition for redress of grievances and due process of law. But right now, Trump is imprisoning the students in Louisiana, including Rümeysa and Mahmoud, to suppress their speech. And why is he doing that? Because he has no answer for what they're saying. Suppressing speech is necessary for him because nobody can defend the mass murder of children by the Israeli government in Gaza, nor can anybody defend U.S. complicity in that mass murder. Nobody can defend mass starvation. Nobody can defend the destruction of homes, hospitals, schools, universities, farmland, farm animals, water wells, and sewage systems. Nobody can defend bombing families in tents with F-35 jets. Just like the F-35 jets they've implemented here in Vermont. Nor can anybody defend the destruction of First Amendment rights at Tufts University or at Columbia or at UVM or at any other university or in Middlebury, including the right of students to demand an end to U.S. support for the genocide and an end to the U.S. support for Jewish supremacy and apartheid in Israel. And to stop them from demanding freedom for Palestine. That is why fighting to free Rümeysa and Mahmoud and the other students from prison in Louisiana is so important. And it is why it was a huge victory when the free speech resolution was unanimously adopted by the Burlington City Council 10 days ago. It puts our city as a whole on record behind the effort for their freedom and for free speech. The Burlington Resolution, here's something you can do. The Burlington Resolution is a model that can be used as a starting point for resolutions in other cities and towns in Vermont. It includes the firmly established law regarding speech, and it quotes what Mahmoud and Rümeysa were saying about the Israeli genocide in Palestine. Are there people here who don't live in Burlington? Are there people you know who don't live in Burlington? You can spread this resolution to your town. You can bring the free speech resolution to the city councilor or select board member in your town and work with them to get it adopted. So if you do wish to do that, or if you have a friend, come see me after this. We'll take your name and we'll get in touch and we'll help you get this adopted. Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
I want to talk to you as organizers about how to advance the Apartheid-Free Community campaign in Vermont. I'm Paul Fleckenstein from the Vermont Coalition for Palestinian Liberation, and especially the Apartheid-Free Working Group. I was thinking, what's the most famous thing that's ever been said in front of this courthouse? President Trump, I am not afraid of you. When Moksin said that right here, it resonated literally around the world. Because there's a recognition of this moment of Palestinian resistance as central to the struggle against authoritarianism and ecocide globally, as well as for the liberation of Palestine. And that should tell us something, and we already know this, about the centrality of Palestine to the fight against authoritarianism broadly in the United States. It requires breaking U.S. support for Israeli apartheid and genocide. As the Apartheid-Free Community pledge, joining others in defeating Israeli settler colonialism, apartheid, and occupation. The pledge campaign has been central to the Vermont Coalition for Palestinian Liberation and the movement in Vermont. We have over 40 organizations signed up to the Apartheid-Free Pledge Network. Groups that adopt the pledge understand the centrality of Palestinian liberation and the character of Israel as a U.S.-backed settler colonial apartheid and occupying state to our struggle, as I said, against authoritarianism, against Trump, and for a different future. It's a network supporting education on Palestine, free speech, common action in campaigns, and carrying out and preparing the way for BDS, boycott, divestment, and sanctions. 5 towns have also adopted the Apartheid-Free Community Pledge by votes this year, and hundreds of organizations have adopted it across the country. We need to continue to build our network, our organizing infrastructure that makes protests like this, like the ones we've been holding over the past several weeks, possible, and that makes the successes possible. So, we need your help. What towns and groups can you work on to join the Apartheid-Free Community Network? How many people here are part of a community or an organization that has joined the Pledge Network for Apartheid-Free Community? Everyone who lives in Winooski is. Everyone who lives in Brattleboro is. And if you're in a number of several unions, Migrant Justice, Free Her, rural Vermont, you're part of this network. But there's a lot of possibilities for more. So we had these great sign-up sheets that we're gonna pass around today, but because of the rain, it's not really working. But come talk to me afterward, talk to Jimmy over there in the yellow jacket with the hat, and we can get you connected. So thanks all. Free Palestine.
Thank you, Paul and Jimmy with Apartheid-Free Communities. Now, our rally's coming to an end. Thank you all for staying out here in the rain with us. I know it's not ideal conditions, but as the students were saying, these times require sacrifice, and the culture and spaces we're building here is extremely beautiful and will help lead us to liberation. So thank you. Just a quick announcement. We do encourage everyone to stay until we hear the results of the hearing. We expect her to be freed on bail in Louisiana. So while we wait, we'll sing a bit more with Grace and Jewish Voices for Peace. And we will invite Rümeysa's lawyer to address us in the media after if they would like to. If they don't release her today, as you all know, we will keep fighting for her until she's free and free to exercise her First Amendment right to speak out for Palestine. And remember, her fight is our fight. Because they aren't just stopping with her, they are coming for the rest of us. And Vivon.
When Rümeysa's lawyers come out, make sure that they get a chance to speak to the media and that it's nice and quiet so that the message can be heard loud and clear. But then afterwards, give them a loud cheer because they're in there fighting for us, for all of us. If you're looking for the next thing to do, on the 15th, we've got Nakba Day in Brattleboro, Burlington, and Winooski. I don't know why I'm looking at you. Yeah. Montpelier. In Montpelier. So look out for that and come to the VCPL bi-monthly meeting on Saturday at the American Friends Quaker Meeting House at 1 p.m. On Saturday. And Winooski is screening the film. Yes. But for now, and before that, if you're looking to get the Zoom link to hop into the court, you can come to the tent. But first, let's sing. Thank you all.
I want to invite you to scooch in, come closer to one another, and move. Let's move our bodies a little bit. It's really cold. I think we should do yeah. We have a few songs that we were thinking could help us stay warm. So we've been hearing about how we're staying steadfast, and one of the things we're thinking about is how to help each other be steadfast. And song is one of those technologies that have been practiced by people in resistance all over the world. And there are a lot of really amazing songs from the Black American tradition that came up when people were being enslaved and completely oppressed, when hope for a future of liberation seemed really impossible. Singing was a really core tool for the struggle. And so we're gonna sing We Shall Not Be Moved out of the Black American church tradition and Sweet Honey in the Rock. And then we're gonna have lots. So do you know We Shall Not Be Moved? So most of you know it, but it goes, we shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree standing by the water. We shall not be moved. Standing with Rümeysa, that will be our first verse. So we're standing with Rümeysa, we shall not be moved. Standing with Rümeysa, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. Fighting for our freedom, we shall not be moved. Fighting for our freedom, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. Standing up for Gaza. Standing up for Gaza, we shall not be moved. Standing up for Gaza, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. Fighting for our lives, we shall not be moved. Fighting for our lives, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. What else? What else are we doing? I know y'all know. What? Fighting for free speech. Fighting for free speech, we shall not be moved. Fighting for free speech, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. All of us together. All of us together, we shall not be moved. All of us together, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Aye, aye. Yeah. This one is about the further they try to push us down into the ground, the more we're going to grow back strong, because they tried to bury us. They didn't know we were seeds. So the first part goes like this. They tried. It's like they tried to bury us. Again, they tried to bury us. They didn't know that we were seeds. And they tried to bury us. They tried to bury us. But they didn't know that we were seeds. Because they tried to bury us. The bird knows. They tried to bury us. They didn't know that we were seeds. Yeah! Great. That's right. What should we do next?
I'm here to support the struggle and the movement to free the immigrant student political prisoners. Last time when we were at the courthouse, Mohsen Makdawi walked free, and I think that's something that we'll be able to do this time, so I'm hopeful. And I'm also here to talk to people about the longer term organizing of the Vermont Coalition for Palestinian Liberation. And that's building our networks, our campaigns that make mobilizations and protests like this possible. And the main thing there is the Apartheid-Free Community Pledge Campaign, which we've been working on for a couple years. 5 towns have voted to sign the Apartheid-Free Community Pledge, and we have dozens of organizations in Vermont, from unions to faith organizations to advocacy groups, who have signed on to the pledge to work together against what's driving all of this. And this is U.S. support for Israeli occupation, apartheid, and colonization of Palestine. So I think those are the 2 projects for the movement here. I'm very hopeful that we'll free Rümeysa today, and then free the rest of the political prisoners that Trump is targeting as well.
Why am I here today? I am here in support of Rümeysa, who I feel is very unjustly being held in a gulag. And I think even more than the other political prisoners, hers is a very difficult story because she's a woman and she has dignities that are not being respected where she is being held. So being here in the rain, I feel like we're all in solidarity with her living in the conditions that she's living in. It's the least we can do. I hope they release her. I hope she walks free, and we're all here in support of that. Thank you. Sure.
Sensitivity update. So, because of technical difficulties, the proceedings are just starting. Just to update you on that. I missed that joke, but it's probably a very good joke. So the technical difficulties meant that they're just starting the hearing, and it looks like there are going to be several witnesses called, including Rümeysa, to testify to the court. So if people can tune in to the live stream, you can watch it. The lawyers estimate that it'll probably go till lunch. So just to give you a time frame, so feel free to cycle in and out. There's a coffee store over there that's incredibly welcoming to the Palestine liberation struggle. So buy coffee there, come back, and be patient and be here, because we do. It's right on the corner there. Crew. I'm not advertising for them, I'm just telling you. So a lot of people are in there and they'll come in and out, but please stay if you can. I know it's really miserable, but remember when Mohsen won, what a jubilant moment it was for our entire movement. And we're hoping that we get similar news this time. And we'll try and have the lawyers address everybody when we get the news from the results. So stay strong, stay here, keep each other warm, keep singing, follow whatever Grace tells you to do.
Don't push yet.
Immediately. Wow. What was the name of this case? Trump lost again. 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 Jesus free! Jesus free!
Today, the justice have been done.
Yes.
Today, Rümeysa, tomorrow, Mahmoud.
Yes.
Today, Rümeysa, tomorrow, Palestine.
Yes.
First Amendment rights, Palestine. 2, Trump. 0.
Yes! Free them all! 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 Free them all!
the sea.
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
From the river to the sea.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
From the river to the sea.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
From the river to the sea.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
So exciting.
That's not a chant.
She's free. She's out. This is so exciting. I'm a horrible singer.
Sounds good to me.
We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid to
Yeah, they fill up fast.
He said he'll deny a stay if they do ask.
What?
He just said he'll deny a stay if they ask.
That's great.
He said he'll deny a stay
If they ask for one, yeah.
to appeal.
In his court, at his level.
Right. So
He's still ruling then?
So
He's not
she's
done.
getting out. He's not going to stay his decision. Pending an appeal.
Yeah, she's out.
So she's out. Because that was a second possibility. He would stay allowing her out.
What's another chant? What do we got?
All right. Well, this is huge victory. Can't wait to get lawyers.
Emily, are you sure you don't want that? We can set that up. The mic. What?
I don't know about feedback.
We can control for that.
It's gonna be a while.
Okay, like how long?
They're about to be just leaving now.
It's over?
Yeah. So the general public will come out first. So they may need to just have you all move slightly so that there's a path to get out.
There is room right there.
Great. And then the attorneys
Make sure
will
there's a path.
come some amount of time after that.
And distribute all the flags to everybody. There are more flags. Hand them out. She's free.
Anita, no conditions of travel.
That's
no
amazing.
limitations.
Isn't that great? Freedom.
She's free. Free them all. 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 We're not going to lose hope. We're not going to lose hope. Mahmoud is next. Mahmoud is next. And each case represents thousands of people. Thousands of people. And you should wait to see how Palestine going to celebrate the freedom of those people. That's right. How they going to celebrate Mohsen, Rümeysa, and Mahmoud. That's right. And Suri. So it's double victory. We're on a roll. She is free! 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 Okay. She is free!
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
Good afternoon. My name is Jessie Rossman. I'm the legal director at the ACLU of Massachusetts. I'd like to make sure that co-counsel are able to introduce themselves, who are up there with me today.
Hi, this is Mudassir Topa, M-U-D-A-S-S-A-R, last name Topa, T-O-P-P-A, with the Clear Project at Main Street Legal Services.
Good afternoon, Noor Zafar, Senior Staff Attorney with ACLU National.
Hello, Monica Allard. I'm a staff attorney with the ACLU of Vermont.
What we heard from the court today is what we have been saying for weeks and what courts have continued to repeat up and down through the litigation of this case thus far. There's absolutely no evidence that justifies detaining Ms. Öztürk for a single day, let alone the 6.5 weeks that she has been detained because she wrote a single op-ed in her student newspaper exercising her First Amendment right to express an opinion. What the court said today was that she had satisfied her burden. She had established that she had what he called very significant First Amendment and Fifth Amendment due process claims, which will be litigated during her habeas petition hearing before this court. And in the interim, she will be released on bail immediately from Louisiana. One of the dangers of what we were seeing in the government's behavior in this case is the very strong message it sends to people who are watching that you can be punished by your speech. And what we heard from the court today was confirmation that that is not what we do in this country. That's right. That the First Amendment protects your right to speak. It protects your ability to remain at liberty and free. And Ms. Öztürk is going to be walking out of the Louisiana Detention Center today with another one of our co-counsel so that she can come home, she can come back to her community, she can come back to Somerville, she can come back to her academics, and she can continue the life that she should be able to live.
She is free! She is free! She is free! She is free! She is free!
We are so thrilled that Rümeysa gets to go back to her Tufts community where, as we heard today, she is so beloved and so deeply valued by her peers, by her professors, by her deans, and by everyone else on campus who dearly and deeply misses her and is so excited for her to be back so that she can continue her studies and continue working on the things that she's passionate about. And we are so glad that the court affirmed something that we knew all along, that the government has literally only one single piece of evidence for detaining Rümeysa. And that is the op-ed that she wrote in her student newspaper expressing views that the government disagrees with or dislikes. And the court affirmed today the basic and fundamental First Amendment principle that we all hold dear, that is not something that you can lock people up for. So we're so excited and so happy for Rümeysa, and we're so happy that this court affirmed the basic principles that we've been fighting for all along and will continue to fight for.
6 weeks ago, ICE agents abducted Rümeysa from her community in retaliation for her speech defending Palestinian human rights. The court's decision today explicitly acknowledges that this type of retaliatory conduct chills the speech of not just Rümeysa, but millions of non-citizens in this country, and it's explicitly in violation of the Constitution. We are appreciative of the court granting Ms. Öztürk Rümeysa release today, and we are moved by the court's reflection, very thoughtful reflection of all of the evidence that was been put forward by Ms. Öztürk and the complete lack of evidence being put forth by the government. And the court's conclusion that Ms. Öztürk is absolutely not a danger to her community, not a flight risk, but an asset to her community. Someone who's dedicated her life to her academic pursuits, to her completion of her PhD in the service of children, I think is a reflection of why the government's conduct in this case was just so objectionable. I'm going to let my colleagues speak, and I'm going to also read a statement from Ms. Öztürk's other attorney, who's with her currently at the Louisiana detention facility, and I'll read that statement shortly.
Being detained for 6 weeks for writing an op-ed in your school newspaper is a constitutional horror story. And as the court said today, her detention cannot stand. Today, the court decided that there is absolutely no evidence whatsoever of her dangerousness, and instead found repeated evidence of her peaceful nature. We are so glad that Rümeysa can continue to her studies, that she can return to her community that misses her so desperately. And I think we all heard directly from Rümeysa today that in a way that her light just shines through. She's clearly such a caring, compassionate person. And today we made good on the First Amendment promise of free speech, and Rümeysa is going home.
So I'm reading the statement from Masa Kanababi, who's with Rümeysa currently at the Louisiana Detention Center. Rümeysa and I thank you for your support. We are relieved and ecstatic that she has been ordered released. Unfortunately, it is 45 days too late. She has been imprisoned all these days for simply writing an op-ed that called for human rights and dignity for the people in Palestine. When did speaking up against oppression become a crime? When did speaking up against genocide become something to be imprisoned for? The Trump administration has robbed Rümeysa and many of the roughly 900 women detained in GEO's for-profit prison of their freedoms despite never being charged with a crime. We are thankful that the courts have been ruling in favor of detained political prisoners like Rümeysa, like Mohsen Mawdawi, and we await the release of others like Mahmoud Khalil, Dr. Suri, Laka Kordia, and others. The public plays an important role in upholding our constitutional rights. Please continue to speak up for democracy and civil rights in every space, including our elected offices, our universities, and our halls of justice.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
We have not been able to. She's with counsel right now, and we're hopeful, as the court said, she is to be released immediately.
How confident are you that that court order will be followed?
Look, when we were before this court the last time, 3 weeks ago, government counsel stood up and said that the government was going to comply with any order from this court. The very clear and unambiguous order from this court today was that Ms. Öztürk needed to be released immediately and walk out today, and that is what we expect the government to do.
The judge mentioned this chills the speech of thousands nationwide. This decision today is going to have a ripple effect nationwide. What does that mean for you guys?
I mean, I think we've seen the importance of being able to have free expression in the ways in which people across this country, let alone outside of the country, have been speaking up and speaking out and standing up and saying this is not how we operate in this country. There's a First Amendment right in this country to express your views and opinions and not fear arrest, detention, being ripped from your home, taking thousands of miles away. And to echo what Attorney Kambabi said earlier, it shouldn't have taken 6.5 weeks for Ms. Öztürk to be let out. She has been in detention for all this time and people have been watching, but that also means that people are watching today when a federal court said this is a substantial claim of a First Amendment violation. This is not what we do in this country, and she needs to be released immediately.
The judge did seem to jump ahead to his thoughts about the habeas hearing. How does that fold into her immigration proceedings? Like in this hearing in habeas, if he finds, as he seems to agree, there's a violation of First Amendment due process, what does that mean for her potential removal proceedings?
What the habeas petition is looking at is the federal rights in the federal court. Her immigration proceeding is a separate proceeding that is before the immigration courts. We are not asking for this court to interfere with immigration proceedings. We are asking this court to rightfully exercise its habeas authority to assess and rule on her constitutional rights. That is something that this court recognized it had jurisdiction to do, that the Second Circuit, the Court of Appeals, affirmed it had jurisdiction to do, and that's what's going to be proceeding at the next stage of her case.
I guess my question is ultimately, does this matter when it comes to whether they want her to leave this country and revoke her visa?
I think that today's ruling absolutely matters. It sends a strong statement of who we are as a country and how the Constitution applies. The First Amendment protects everyone in this country, and it protects people when they exercise it. That's what Ms. Öztürk did. That's what people are doing across the country right now. And this is a strong statement of the protections that the First Amendment needs to continue to have.
Okay. Any other questions?
Will you, when you get word that she is actually literally outside of the next winter, will the ACLU share that with everyone?
I'm getting indication that the answer is yes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.